aboard.
We are super excited to welcome you aboard the Freedom, and we launched last night, about 14 hours ago. We haven't seen the footage of the launch, but it was an amazing ride up into low Earth orbit, and we're making our way to the International Space Station now. We just wanted to show you around our home here for the past 15 hours before we dock. And so I'm going to hand it over to Wadi first to share with you some of her favorite things about being here in the Dragon.
Hey everybody, so as a first-time flyer in space here with my classmate and friend Farmer, our first and most favorite part about being on Dragon so far is definitely the view. So we can take you over here to the window that we get to sleep next to and eat next to and hang out next to, and just show you what we get to see, which is just this amazing Earth. It's been so cool to see the Terminator come in and out, the day and night cycles. You get to see the clouds and all of the rock formations are particularly interesting to me as a geologist.
It's been amazing being up here again in space, and one of the most incredible things I've experienced so far was last night. We had a couple of burns during our sleep period. With, all of a sudden you see yourself and your sleeping bag pushed in the vehicle because you have a burn, the thrusters turn on. So I went up and peeked through the little window that we have here on the hatch, and I saw visually this thruster firings going on. It was like a ghost flying behind us, this very, very light glimmer making incredible shapes, and then it became more of an incandescent light, and it was just beautiful. And then that sound of the thrusters going on, toom, 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 and that display of light was just amazing.
So obviously for me as a rookie, one of my favorite things is looking out the window, and this view that we have out here right now is just spectacular. We're coming across the Terminator, which is the division between day and night on the Earth, and just the way the horizon and the atmosphere lights up and how it gets accentuated as we come into darkness or come out from darkness is just absolutely amazing.
To my recollection, I could be wrong, I think this is the first time that we've done everything in one single calendar day. So, we launched early in the morning this morning, and then now we're getting ready to dock here this evening.
Yeah, and that docking time right now, it's targeted, it's 4:40 Pacific, 6:40 Central. That's about 11:40 GMT. And so that's about 40 minutes earlier than what we were initially expecting. But on board the space station, the station crew is awake and they're ready to receive Dragon. NASA astronaut Tom Marshburn is lead for the monitoring duties, and he's also going to be the lead for all of the hatch operations. So he's got equipment set up to monitor Dragon's approach inside the space station's cupola. And once we get Dragon docked, he'll be the lead for essentially going through the steps we need to go through to get the hatch open. First, we have to pressurize the vestibule. That's that small space between Dragon's hatch and the station hatch. And he just opens up a small valve on the station side to just flow atmosphere in there. And then we won't be able to see it, but while that happens, umbilicals will connect, 2 of them from station to Dragon. That integrates Dragon into the station's power and data systems, allowing it to not rely on its solar arrays or batteries. It can just draw power from the station itself. So everything continuing to go smoothly so far. You did hear one item that got called up to the crew. The team here in Hawthorne was talking about a Dragon Eye and some of the issues we've been tracking with it. The Dragon Eye is one of the core pieces of navigation equipment that are used for final approach and docking. We have 2 of them on Dragon, and they essentially use LiDAR bouncing lasers off of reflectors on the station, as well as thermal imagers to get range rate information that feeds back into Dragon's flight computer in real time. And we've had a couple of issues when they do what's called a built-in test, just a checkout of those Dragon eyes with one of them, Dragon Eye 1. After additional analysis, the teams have essentially determined that the test is failing as it's overly sensitive. It's passed several of the tests, but again, that is one of the critical items that we use during that final approach. So they've told the crew we have a forward plan. We only need one of those to do the final rendezvous and docking. And so if any issues do crop up with Dragon Eye 1, we can use Dragon Eye 2 for all of our final approach operations. And so that's the only item we've been tracking for the ascent so far today. And at this point, we're still all systems go for the docking. So we just did that approach initiation maneuver, and next up's going to be that mid-course burn.
Now, we did mention that we launched earlier this morning in the wee hours of the night, just after midnight. So we launched at 12:52 a.m. Pacific time, 7:52 Eastern. And up until this point, the crew has gone through a sleep period. Of course, everything is super scheduled, whether you're on station or in a Dragon. The crew has to be ready to go whenever they get on station, particularly for the upcoming docking activities. So they have gone through their sleep phase. They've had they have 2 meals at this point. And yeah, as Dan said, we're getting ready to enter the docking phases here. That's a live view of the Dragon Freedom capsule. It seems like it's moving fast because it is. That tracking camera has to keep playing catch up with the capsule. Of course, in order.
Waypoint 0, again, it'll be just about 400 meters below the space station. It might hang out there, but if the teams give the joint go before that, they'll move right through Waypoint 0 and start to move towards Waypoint 1.
There's our first live view of inside Dragon Freedom with the Crew 4 crew. This is our first live view since we left them earlier for that media event.
Still dock. All right, here we go. So on the left, that's station looking at Dragon. On the right, that's Dragon looking up at station.
Dragon Freedom attached to the International Space Station. Up next, we are going to begin the hard capture sequence. That's essentially when we are engaging the hooks around the docking mechanism. That's a gorgeous view. Now, of course, there are still a few steps that we have to complete before Dragon is securely attached to station.
Dragon SpaceX on the big loop. Soft capture ring retraction is in progress.
And Dragon hatch is open, and they are welcoming the Crew 4 astronauts on board. You see all smiles around as Jessica Watkins, Bob Hines, Samantha Cristoforetti have ingressed and are hugging all their current Crew 3 crew members. And last one in, we see Commander of Dragon, Kjell Lindgren, now entering into the International Space Station.